December 4, 2025, Japan stands at a crossroads. The nation, long known for its economic resilience and unique approach to monetary policy, is now facing a pivotal moment that could redefine its future. After decades of battling stagnation and deflation, the winds of change are blowing through the heart of Japan's financial system. The Bank of Japan is preparing to raise interest rates for the first time in years, signaling a dramatic shift away from decades of ultra-low borrowing costs. This move marks a significant departure from the policies that have shaped Japan's economy since the 1990s, and it's sending ripples through financial markets both at home and abroad. For years, near-zero rates fought deflation. But now, with inflation finally above target, the central bank is ready to act. Rising prices for everyday goods and services have become a reality for Japanese households, and policymakers believe the time has come to restore balance and confidence in the economy. Governor Ueda believes a modest rate hike is necessary, and markets expect a move to 0.75% at the upcoming policy meeting. Ueda, who has emphasized caution and stability, faces the challenge of guiding Japan through uncharted territory, balancing growth with the need to curb inflation. This isn't just a technical change, it will affect every citizen. From the bustling streets of Tokyo to rural communities, the impact of higher rates will be felt in daily life, influencing everything from the cost of groceries to the price of a home loan. Savers may finally see returns, but borrowing will get pricier. For retirees and those planning for the future, higher interest rates could mean more security. But for families and businesses relying on loans, the cost of borrowing will rise, potentially slowing spending and investment. The era of Abenomics, with its flood of cheap money, is ending. The policies introduced by former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe aim to jumpstart growth and end deflation. But now, Japan must adapt to a new reality, one where easy money is no longer the norm. The challenge now: unwind stimulus without stalling the economy. Policymakers must carefully calibrate their actions to avoid triggering a recession, while also ensuring that inflation does not spiral out of control. Businesses, investors, and workers alike are watching closely, hoping for a smooth transition. For ordinary Japanese, this is both promising and unsettling. On one hand, there is hope for a more vibrant economy and better returns on savings. On the other, there is anxiety about rising costs and the uncertainty that comes with change. Higher rates could help savers, but make mortgages and loans more expensive. Young families looking to buy homes, students considering education loans, and entrepreneurs seeking capital will all need to adjust to this new environment. The Bank of Japan must manage this transition carefully, aiming for a stable, healthier economy without causing undue pain. Every decision will be scrutinized, and the stakes could not be higher for the nation's future prosperity. The world is watching as Japan takes this bold step into economic normalization. Global investors, policymakers, and economists are keenly observing how Japan navigates this delicate process, knowing it could set a precedent for other nations facing similar challenges. The outcome will shape the nation's future for years to come, influencing not just Japan's economy, but its society, culture, and place in the world. As the sun rises on a new era, all eyes are on Japan to see what comes next.
The idea of a rate hike is stupid. It's like they don't understand the struggles we're facing every day. How can they even consider it when so many people are already having a hard time making ends meet?
The road to this rate hike was marked by a fierce political clash, a battle that captivated the nation and drew sharp lines between opposing camps. This intense debate was primarily between BOJ Governor Kazuo Ueda and the newly appointed Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi, both of whom had very different visions for Japan's economic future. Takaichi, a staunch supporter of Abenomics, publicly opposed any rate increase, fearing it would derail recovery. She believed that maintaining low interest rates was crucial for sustaining economic growth and avoiding a potential recession. On the other hand, Ueda, known for his cautious, data-driven approach, argued that waiting too long risked asset bubbles and instability. He emphasized the importance of preemptive measures to ensure long-term economic stability. The standoff tested the limits of central bank independence, with the government holding appointment power over the BOJ. This power dynamic added another layer of complexity to the already heated debate. The world watched as Ueda and Takaichi faced off. Would the central bank's mandate or political priorities prevail? The outcome of this confrontation would have far-reaching implications, not just for Japan, but for global markets as well. Ultimately, the confrontation set the stage for a high-stakes compromise that would define the early Takaichi administration. Both sides had to navigate a delicate balance between economic theory and political reality. The outcome would determine whether Japan could finally move beyond its era of easy money. It was a critical juncture that would shape the nation's financial landscape for years to come. The stakes were nothing less than the future direction of Japan's economy. Investors, policymakers, and ordinary citizens alike were keenly aware of the high stakes involved. The stage was set for a defining moment in Japanese economic policy. The decisions made in this period would echo through the corridors of power and the lives of everyday people. The public standoff couldn't last. Behind closed doors, Ueda and Takaichi met privately in November 2024, finding common ground. This candid conversation eased tensions and paved the way for compromise. Finance Minister Katayama soon signaled support for a gradual policy shift, framing the rate hike as a necessary adjustment, not a rejection of Abenomics. The BOJ's messaging praised past policies, arguing that raising rates now would secure Abenomics' long-term success. This narrative allowed Takaichi to accept the hike without losing face. Ueda's political finesse reassured the government that the BOJ would act responsibly. The truce, built on quiet diplomacy and strategic messaging, cleared the path for the December rate hike. It was a victory for pragmatism over ideology. The BOJ could now proceed with its plan.
The reason is simple: a weak yen makes imports more expensive.
Throughout 2024, the yen's decline drove up costs for households and businesses, fueling inflation and political pressure. For import-dependent Japan, the weak currency meant higher prices at the pump and grocery store. Voters felt the squeeze, and the government faced mounting demands to act. Raising rates became the clearest way to support the yen and ease public frustration. The weak yen gave Ueda leverage. He could point to real-world pain as justification for change. Ultimately, economic reality forced the government to accept the BOJ's plan. The currency crisis made compromise inevitable. Central bank decisions may seem distant, but interest rates shape daily life for everyone. Whether you're saving for a child's education, planning to buy a home, or simply managing monthly expenses, the rates set by the Bank of Japan ripple through every aspect of personal finance. These decisions influence not just the cost of borrowing, but also the returns on your savings and investments.
For decades, borrowing was cheap and saving unrewarding. That's about to change. As interest rates rise, the financial landscape is shifting. People who relied on low-cost loans will need to adjust, while those who have patiently saved may finally see their efforts rewarded with better returns. Higher rates mean savers finally earn more, while borrowers face higher costs for mortgages, car loans, and business credit. This shift affects decisions big and small, from buying a new car to expanding a business or even taking out a student loan. Every financial choice becomes more significant when the cost of money changes.
Even a small rate hike can add up over a 30-year mortgage, making homeownership tougher for young families. Monthly payments can rise, and qualifying for a loan may become more difficult, forcing many to rethink their dreams or delay major life milestones.
Small businesses will also feel the pinch, potentially slowing investment. Higher borrowing costs can mean fewer new shops opening, less hiring, and slower growth for local economies. Entrepreneurs may need to be more cautious and creative to thrive in this new environment.
The BOJ's challenge is to restore balance, rewarding savers, curbing risky borrowing, and stabilizing the economy. It's a delicate act, aiming to encourage responsible financial behavior while supporting growth and protecting vulnerable households. The era of free money distorted behavior. Now the goal is a healthier equilibrium. People and businesses will need to adapt, but the hope is for a more resilient and fair financial system.
The transition may be uncomfortable, but it's aimed at long-term stability. Adjusting to higher rates can be challenging, but it also encourages smarter spending, careful planning, and a renewed focus on financial health.
The hope is a more sustainable foundation for Japan's future. By making both borrowing and saving more meaningful, the country can build a stronger, more balanced economy for generations to come. Every household will feel the effects of this new era, as interest rates become a central part of daily financial decisions and long-term plans. In central banking, words matter as much as actions. Ueda's careful communication has been key to preparing Japan for change.
His strategic messaging reassured both politicians and the public.
Ueda's haste makes waste approach built trust. He promised caution, not recklessness.
By positioning himself as a pragmatic analyst, Ueda convinced the government the BOJ would move gradually.
His public statements were measured, signaling change without causing panic.
This allowed markets and businesses to prepare, reducing shock.
Ueda's diplomatic style built consensus, avoiding confrontation and ensuring a smooth policy shift. In Japan, where consensus is prized, this approach proved indispensable. The December rate hike is just the beginning. Japan's monetary future remains uncertain.
Ueda must now communicate a long-term strategy, but no one knows the neutral rate for Japan after decades of deflation.
Estimates range widely, making it hard to set clear expectations.
If Ueda signals rapid hikes, he risks spooking the economy. If he promises to stay low, inflation could surge.
Even within government, opinions differ. Some want a long pause after this hike. Others expect more tightening.
The tension between political caution and economic necessity will define the coming year. Ueda's ability to navigate these pressures will shape his legacy. The path ahead is anything but clear. The debate now centers on how far and how fast rates will rise. This fragile truce could be tested if inflation persists, and the BOJ needs to act faster. Ueda and the policy board will watch wage growth, inflation, and investment closely. The pace of hikes will depend on real economic data, not preset plans. The story of Japan's rates is still being written. Every decision will be scrutinized at home and abroad. The stakes couldn't be higher. Markets expect gradual hikes to 1.5% by 2027, but political advisors urge caution. Some want to pause after this first move. The answer will impact everything from the yen's value to Japan's massive debt. The BOJ's rate hike marks a new chapter, an end to the era of extreme stimulus and the start of economic normalization. It's a moment of cautious optimism, signaling hope that Japan can finally escape decades of stagnation. The political drama between Ueda and Takaichi showed that even deep divisions can yield to economic necessity. For households, the shift brings both opportunity and challenge. Savers benefit, borrowers adjust. The BOJ's skill in managing this transition will determine success. Japan is now experimenting in reverse. After years of fighting deflation, it must manage inflation and rising rates. The December hike is just the beginning of a long journey. The outcome will shape Japan's role in the global economy and the prosperity of its people. The world is watching as Japan writes its next economic chapter.